views expressed herein are the sole property of Kenosha today. Certain portions of this program may be unsuitable for children, sensitive adults, small animals, and the general public. Viewer discretion is advised. So what do you think, Uncle Scottie? Are you ready to do this?
Don't we have some music? Don't we get it?
Yeah, I have to get that up.
Right. Do we have to do that, or we just start? Okay.
We can just start if you want. If you want to go by it.
Well, just show me a screen that when we're there.
Here we are. We're live. Okay.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Uncle Scottie Barter, and along with my personal caregiver, what good he's going to be today, I'm not sure. But at any rate, Elmo's here.
Equal opportunity
offender. And we are your wartime TV hosts, and welcome to the March 26th edition. Isn't it 26th today? No. What is the date? 25th edition.
No, I think
this is the 26th. I don't even know what day it is. 26th.
It's the 26th. Okay.
Of the all-new Kenosha Today, the daily update. Again, we are coming to you live from, streaming live and local, for this afternoon from the Barter studio, which we're going to be calling home. I call this home for 14 years, for at least until April 24th, or maybe the governor will lift his band and, kind of exile us. And
Scott, where's your mic at? You're not getting...
It's up here. It's up here.
Yeah, no, it might work better. Yeah, no. Okay, I got the wrong. Once again, I put it in the wrong hole, but it's in the whole other.
I'm not going to start again. I'm just going to start where I left off here.
No, it came through. It was just soft.
Okay, we are considered essential, apparently. Why, I don't know. But we will be here every afternoon at 2 p.m. And we will be here on Saturday morning in our normal time at 10, unless the world comes to an end, as we know, in which case I will be broadcasting from up above, and Elmo, you'll probably be coming from the other end, lower level.
That's where I live, in the bunker.
In the bunker. For those who are unfamiliar, with Barter Studio, I mean, this is full of rich, and we are full of rich and tradition, or something. And you can see we are streaming live, coming to you over the overcast cornfields of the
over the Al Gore invented interweb
and the planet. Wasn't he the one with the global warming? Had something to do with that?
Yeah, they're still trying to bring that back.
Yeah.
But
At any rate, we are brought to you this afternoon by our major sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services and the Union Park Tavern, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. I think we got the most of the kinks worked out. There's still a couple we have left to do, but we're getting good to go. And here's our number. Is it on the thing?
No.
262
597
3020, and we'll take your calls live. And we have some topics like this issue. Emma and I were talking earlier. It doesn't seem like there's a middle of the road here, either for this lockdown or some people don't care. And then we've got some crazy situations that have come on in different parts of the country. So, at any rate, we're going to talk to you about that, or whatever else you want to talk about. Also, if you're looking to find us on Channel 14, it's only on Tuesdays at 5, Wednesdays at 6 p.m., and the next time you will see a show, it's going to be the same show for the next 4 weeks. So, just thought I'd mention that. One of the big news today, well, first of all, the stock market, right before we came on here, is up almost 1,000, and that's good, and I think some of that's the result of they're going to vote tomorrow and finally pass the 1,200 checks that you're going to get. And we heard today, it's those payments are going to be taxed. They're going to probably
that's right.
$10.99.
What's the point?
At the end. And, here's the thing is, if you filed your 2019 taxes and you got a paper check, that's how you're going to get this. And if you had direct deposit, that's also how you're going to get this. Now, the kicker is, if you owe the government money from a previous year, they're going to take what you owe them out of your stimulus check because the IRS is going to take their money first.
Who cares?
Well, people that got money thought they had money.
Only from the mouth of a tax accountant, and that's where he
Well, I
lives.
got some
Okay.
people that, and just another clarification, April 15th is still your due date. However, you either send the return in or you file an extension. If you owe money, you have, yes, until July 15th to pay it. But some people are confused with that deal. Again, 262-597-3020. And there's a place you can even go on the Department of Treasury and calculate. You put in whether you're filed your taxes yet, whether you're single, married, or head of household, if your adjusted gross was less than 75,000, how many children you have, and it'll kind of give you a guideline to that respect. So that's going to be passed hopefully tomorrow morning, right? From what I understand. And
It was passed this morning.
well, I just had to see Fox on, and they said no, tomorrow morning.
Well, maybe Trump has to sign it still, but it passed both houses.
Oh, okay. At any rate, then there's some of the other things were to eliminate or give forgiveness of at least $10,000 if you had a student loan debt. And the stock market, I said, rallied yesterday, and it's going to be good today. So, I think when we talked in the early part of the week, what's worse, the panic or the virus itself?
Where does this money come from?
Well, that's another good topic of discussion. I mean, so we got $2 trillion. Are we just printing more money someplace in the printing place off the side?
The government really has no money of their own. They either tax it or print it or borrow it. That's it.
Well,
they have no money of their own. It's all our money. So where is this going to come from?
Well, and especially with all these millions of people being unemployed and are going to file for unemployment, all like in Wisconsin.
Not paying Social Security or not paying Medicare, even if they don't pay income taxes. Where is this money going to come from?
I got my Social Security check. I always get it the fourth Wednesday of the month, and sure enough, that was there. But eventually something's going to run out, and I don't know how that's going to work. But I think other than this $2 trillion, I mean, we'd be down the crapper.
We already are down the crapper.
Yeah. And you know what? We've talked about this because I didn't grow up in the computer world and have very limited. I mean, I can get certain things and do taxes, etc., and know how to do my email. But when somebody keeps texting me, well, how come I can't see your replay? Well, we finish at about 3, and sometimes it just doesn't happen like that. It takes a while. Maybe 5 hours.
It takes time for YouTube to process it to get it done. You can only make a server work so much, and that's what it is.
And with everybody else working on the computers, filing unemployment, some of those things actually shut down. So I would say if around 6 o'clock or 7, you should be able to find us.
That's correct.
Or find us on YouTube. Oh, please don't be texting me saying, "Where's their show?" I mean, I thought you guys said you could find it any time. Well, within limitations, yeah, you can.
Correct. It takes several hours before the replay is available, and that is a limitation due to YouTube and not anything on our part.
And again, what's happening is all of this streaming and these podcasts that you're now seeing is new to a lot of people. In fact, some of the school board members met the other day, and they had a live stream. They were sitting 6 feet apart and doing all that. And they continued to meet like that. But a lot of President Dan Wade, my age approximately, maybe he's a little older. But we didn't come through all of this. We don't know anything about podcasts and live streaming. But we're getting a big
Uncle Scottie, there's a cure to this. If you would like to send me $100,000 to put together a video farm, we can make it available immediately. So please send your check to Kenosha Today. We'll be right there. But right now we got to use YouTube.
But this is working out well. And like we've talked, this came at the right time for us. Because again, we elected not to go to stay on AM radio because it looked like that is a thing of the past. But this streaming here is obviously going to be the future. Everybody's doing this. And we happen to be in the right place at the right time. And we have this lovely sunken...
We're groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking, yeah. I can feel the tremors now. But, the Mayor Ann Rainham announced this morning that you used to be able to watch city council meetings on Channel 25. Well, they don't have the capabilities to do that. So until further notice, you won't be able to see city council meetings. Now, there's a good source of entertainment that's now going on.
That's right.
And you take
That's not as entertaining as it used to be. Oh, okay.
you take guys like Begala. I mean, he plays to that camera. I mean, they could have been in and out of there in like 20 minutes. Except he's going yada yada yada, and so his proposal will bring back the 4-inch snowfall thing. I mean, that's going to be put on hold. And you know, there was a time when those city council meetings, when they had the Fab Five and there was a couple extra characters in there, those city council meetings would go 3 hours, and all because they're all playing to the cameras. And the same thing used to happen to the Kenosha County Board. Well, I'd say at least 10 years ago, they disbanded filming that because they didn't have the money, and therefore, you know, you got 27 supervisors, and those meetings went on pretty quick. So this is the wave of the future, and you know, you were talking about, you know, we were talking about Evers, and you know, whether you agree with them or not, I think what I heard today is Trump wants the country to get back by Easter time, and I you know what? Everybody says, yeah, let's do that in certain parts of the country. I think yes, but if you take New York City, I mean, they're the worst hit apparently. Maybe not so good for them, but
You can't treat the rest of the country.
right, you're right.
Why are you treating Florence County, Wisconsin, the same as you are New York City? I don't understand that.
Well,
Okay,
you know
so-
what?
okay.
When the governor shut everything down, and what was affected? My son-in-law had to go on unemployment. They laid him off, and your daughter was a beautician, and now she's unemployed.
She's out of a job. Her husband is, her fiance is out of a job, and they're getting married in September. If you know, I'm sorry. Some people were offended at the characterization I made of our governor. But if you want to pay for a wedding, fork over the cash, buddy. That's all I gotta say. Because they can't make money right now to pay for their wedding. Do you understand?
You know what? That puts a lot of people in a problem because they probably put a down payment on what, music, the hall, and other things. Right?
That's it. Yep.
And they're not the only ones that are in this boat. So you got to postpone.
I'm in the German male chorus. We got.
There you
I
go.
got 2 events. I've got money down on the hall, and we can't hold it now. So okay, what's going to happen with that? We're going to lose it. What's down?
You
Okay.
don't know. And then plus are the hotels.
Fork over the cash if you don't agree. We want your cash.
What he said. But I mean, we're like I said, we're all over in trouble. Actually, we tried to bring in a little patriotism, and you know, whether you buy into that or not, I guess, you know, back in the late '60s when I grew up, and the Vietnam War tore this country apart, and we get to the '70s, and man, all the protests and all of that. Remember in the '68 Democratic Convention in Chicago?
Oh, wait till Milwaukee. You think that?
Oh, we get to that, don't we? Forget. And what was Daley's? We're here. The National Guard is here to present disrest or whatever. It was a stupid thing. Anyway, after about mid-'70s, and then Nixon got exiled, I think our sense of patriotism kind of really went away until 9/11, and then for the first couple of years, everything came back, and we had wonderful parades and the flag and everything. But since then, things have kind of tapered down, and maybe with this will bring us back a little bit because we are in uncharted waters, folks, and sometimes it takes a crisis. Well, we've never seen a crisis like this that'll bring us all together. And again, there are two sides of this. And
Well, I disagree. 9/11. What happened then? We thought we were going to war. Nobody knew what was going on. Look how the stock market plummeted at that point
Right.
and stuff like that. But we recovered.
What I didn't understand about that deal is here Osama bin Laden was the one that flew the planes in, and now we're going after Saddam Hussein and for weapons of mass destruction that never materialized. Here's the way.
Actually, you're wrong, Scott.
Right.
Okay, Saddam Hussein was 1992 when he invaded Kuwait.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so you're confusing your historical events. You're 9 years apart from what actually happened.
All right. Well, all I remember is we didn't immediately go after him. We ended up going this way. But again, it brought. Then we lost a lot of people. I don't think losing one more American life. This is just my opinion. Is worth going to war over these people that are unmanageable anyway. So We agree on that?
Well, on the other hand, okay, we're looking at the coronavirus. There's like 5 times as many people die of the flu as they're predicting to die of this. So why are we shutting down America? If you're a patriot, why are we shutting down America? America needs to work and make money. We're the biggest economic engine there is in the world. And we know, and we run stuff. If you're patriotic, that's it. It's not China, it's not Germany, it's not France or Spain or anything like that. We are the big boys, and that's what we should be proud of. Right there. It's not the military, it's not anything like that. It's the average working people that go out there and bust their keisters every day to make this country work, and that's what we should be proud of.
I concur 100%. And the thing is, it seems like in our society recently, people make money by doing nothing. We reward single women that have more kids and make less than $20,000. They get refundable money, and they get money for doing nothing.
Once again, back to the economy.
Okay, sorry. Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, we become a country.
We can discuss the tax code, which is like the most boring thing in the world, some other time. Okay, all right.
It is. No wonder when they
all 27,000 pages of it,
yeah.
at least,
no
or
wonder
whatever
these
it
guys
is.
Okay, they don't understand it, so they just give it to the IRS and let them screw it up. But anyway, the school board met, I think it was just 2 days ago. And of course, the Kenosha News jumps all over this and they talk about it. But everything is going to be live streamed, pretty much so.
We're always ahead of the curve here at Kenosha Today. Do we need to flatten the curve? God, if I hear that once again, I'm going to flatten somebody's head that says flatten the curve. Oh, my God.
Somebody says my it should be louder a little bit. Is that true?
You have your microphone is pointed down. That's the problem. That's why I asked you that before. Okay. Well, you got to wear a shirt with a collar so it can.
All right, hang on. Show my skin here. Let me put it right on the Eagles.
That's it. That's why I always wear a shirt with a collar so you can get the microphone
going.
I'll
figure that out.
Didn't Johnny Carson teach you that?
Well, no, he had one of those microphones. Actually, in the old days, he had a boom right over his head.
Oh.
And I got a boom over my head.
You know, a sword over your head. But
now, here's some things that, for some of these drive-through testing in our area, Frederick South, that's down on 8th Avenue, right? Is that
yes, yeah.
That's going to remain open. And
actually, I went past there a couple times because I live right there. But there's like 8 million cars around there. There's nothing going on at all down there.
Well, I thought they had an outside drive-through.
They're doing it someplace. They have no spot.
Okay, well, you know what I got?
Unless it's in the parking ramp, I don't know. But I didn't see anything going on.
Anyway,
usually there's like about 10 cop cars parked outside too. But there's nothing. There were not even any cops down there. So I don't know.
Okay. So apparently, if you feel that you have the symptoms, you're supposed to call your doctor and get a note, and then you can go to the hospital. And a lot of people saying, okay, maybe I have the symptom, but I'm going to stay home until push comes to shove, because a lot of people don't have health insurance, and if you go in, wonder what a doctor. You could have called a doctor. It's probably $400 right there just to have them send you a note so that you can go down there. But these are for emergency people that at least they'll have an opportunity to get diagnosed. And in Kenosha County, according to our crack Kenosha County Division of Health, one was released and one's going home. 35 people were admitted, 2 positive, 1 remains in the hospital, 17 negative, 16 pending, 450 tests, no other data available, at least from Aurora.
So I gather from that data you have like about a 1 in 100,000 chance of even contracting this thing. So why are we shutting everything down?
Absolutely. Okay. Open us up. The governor, if this is all we got to show for this, I originally thought, well, okay, the social distancing, maybe that's going to help. But I don't know that it has to go too much longer. Maybe, releasing us from our bonds and our chains, whatever, by Easter, in our case, in Kenosha, should be a good idea. But why should we stay?
Why are out of 7 counties in Wisconsin that have, 1 positive test? Most are in Milwaukee and most are in Dane County. I will comment on the type of people that live in those two counties. But if you're somewhere way up north, why can't you go to the bar and get a drink? One size fits all. There was a company that made pantyhose that was one size fits all, and they went out of business for a certain reason. That was
that was at least 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago.
everything one size fits all. It don't work.
Yeah.
What happens in New York City should not happen in Wisconsin. That's it. And Governor Evers, what happens in Ohio should not happen in Wisconsin. If you can't figure it out for yourself, you don't deserve to be governor.
Get out and stay out.
Well, we don't want the lieutenant governor. He's even worse. So,
Is that a lieutenant governor? Is that an appointed position, or is that a?
no, you run for that, but
Okay.
they face their own. They go through their own primaries, and then whatever candidate is elected to run for governor from the party,
Okay.
they pair up and do that.
As long as we're talking about elections, what do you think? Should we postpone the April 7th?
I think so, because there are certain factors out there that are trying to stop in-person voting on the 7th because of this. So I think we should all go to May 12th, which is where the governor moved the congressional seat to replace Sean Duffy up there in northern Wisconsin. He moved that to the 12th of May. So I think we should move all the elections to the 12th of May.
Well, there again, one size doesn't fit all.
Because that's it. He would not have Sean Duffy's election on the normal election date because he wanted to not have Republicans coming out to to vote for Justice Kelly, who's now in the Supreme Court, and stuff like that. Because they thought if the Duffy seat was up for grabs up in the normally Republican northern part of Wisconsin, it would skew the voter turnout in favor of the Republicans. So.
Now, as long as we're on politics, the Democratic convention. Where's the Republican? Democrats going to be in Milwaukee, but where's the Republican convention?
I have no idea where it is. Nobody cares because they don't.
Well, that's right. That's a good point.
It's a shoe-in. What are they going
to
to
have a convention? But
it's good. It's a good place to party. That's it.
Well,
hey, remember they opened all the bars late for the Democrats in Milwaukee? How's that going to work if the bars ain't open?
They now, when is that supposed to be? In July, I believe, right?
Yeah.
One, should they even have it? And two, the state legislature passed this deal and says the municipalities could elect to stay open until 4. And I think, what's our question? I mean, the Democrats can't get drunk by 1 in the morning like all the rest of the world?
10 in the morning.
10 in the morning.
You ever been to one of those conventions?
No. 10 in the morning. So, you know what? If anybody's got a comment on that, 262-597-3020. Heck, I just think they should cancel it off. They're going to cancel everything. And you talk about...
Well, you're not giving the Antifa people a chance to loot and burn and destroy downtown Milwaukee.
Well, we're not suggesting that would happen, but every time look what happened in Chicago in '68. So, and then so if anybody has a comment, give us a call on that. We'll take a break in just a minute. But price gouging is surging. I heard this guy was on Fox. He's some big wig we're going to come after you. If you're caught price gouging, and so they've been sending cease and desist letters. So. $26 for thermometers, $39.95 for a pair of toilet paper, and $10 a roll. And so there's supposed to be some law. I didn't know. I know there's a 6% markup law in Wisconsin that says you have to sell everything at least 6% above cost. And I'll get into another story, but price gouging, man, it's kind of like free enterprises, and what you think?
That's what it is.
If I can get $10 for a thing of toilet paper, hey, I'm gonna go for it, right? If you want to give us $100,000,
we do have.
Let
me remind you of the do-it-yourself outdoor bidet. All you need is a lawn chair with a hole cut in the bottom and a lawn sprinkler underneath. You can take care of all your duties without using toilet paper.
In the 70s, for example, Sears, they used to have this bait and switch deal. And I remember they used to sell diehard batteries, $9.95. Well, the only thing it would start would be a 1937 Ford. And so then they would trade you up to the $60 one.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of this other markup law, you had the most you could put something on sale was for 2 weeks. And you had to have it in your store for 30 days to establish a regular price. So here's how Kohl's and Penny's got away with that. They would put something, a shirt, for example, on sale, 50% off for 2 weeks. Well, then after that sale was off, they'd sell a new one, buy one, get one free. So there's all the ways to get around nonsense. And you know, the one guy says, he was a grocery store, man, what better advertising to get a ticket for selling below cost? He said, people would be flocking into my business. So, but again, if you just tuned in, and if you have an extra 100,000, Elmo will put on this great computer display.
And you can get the replays like immediately after we're done. So.
Yeah. The check is payable Elm Broadcasting Inc. and we'll get to it within 24 hours.
Other than using my old decrepit laptop that we're trying to do without catching it on fire right now. So okay.
All right, so let's take a break for about a minute. When we get back, we're going to have some real live weather.
Oh, looks rather gloomy out there, Uncle Scottie. Oh, okay. Where's my thingy here?
If you want to take it, otherwise we'll just keep going.
What?
Oh, I have to.
No, I can't find. There it is. Okay, we got to do that right now. Here we go. Isn't this entertaining? You can hear us, and who knows what the heck else is going on. All right.
Actually, as long as I got the radar here, we can just bypass that, and I just have to.
Well, let's take a break. We have to. Here, let's play some music. Okay. I gotta take a pee break anyway.
Oh, you can get around.
Yep. Take my microphone off.
Oop, that's all right. Tell me when we're back. All right, once again, a very good afternoon to everybody. This is Uncle Scottie Barter, along with my personal caregiver, Elmo the Insane Schneider. We welcome you to our Kenosha Today Daily Update, which we plan to stream live every afternoon at 2 p.m. It is 30 minutes after 2 here in the Kenosha Today Nation, bringing you the best we can do in news, weather, not much sports, and entertainment. Again, we invite you to join the thousands of our fans who have already signed up and liked us on Facebook. We are brought to you by our major sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services, the Union Park Tavern, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. We invite you to give us a call with your comments, questions during these very troubling times. Our new number, 262-597-3020.
You know, Uncle Scottie, you made a mistake.
Well, again?
Yeah.
What did I make?
Well, no, I made a mistake.
Oh.
When I quoted the $100,000 figure to have this, no, it's $117,000.
Oh, geez, Elmo, where'd you get that number from? Oh, thank you very much for bringing that up. People don't know, and you ain't gonna know either. So, where does that number is etched in my mind?
Well,
and then a court accident.
While I was in the bathroom, I did
oh,
some
sure.
calculations.
It took you to take a pee to figure that out. Huh? What'd you do? Write it on some toilet paper? Hey, every piece counts on there. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, today's up-to-date weather is sponsored by Capo Web Design, which is a locally owned web design and development business here in Kenosha, specializing in website design, development, maintenance, site services, and support, who actually designed and is currently developing our site, KenoshaToday.com. For more information, you can contact them at www.capowebdesign.com. Now we're going to get sophisticated. Here's the latest radar.
Radar weather. Oh my God.
Jeez, I had it. There's, it should be in the Kenosha Nation. It's just lightly raining, and according to
90% chance, right?
yeah. Hey, you know you know what? That was a very dumb thing that I did. The only mistake I made so far this year. I'm reading yesterday's forecast from a thing that was printed 2 days ago, and like around here it changes. So I thought, well, we're gonna
by the hour.
Yeah, by the hour. And there's light rain that should be out of here by probably 7 o'clock. And then tomorrow, it's going to be mid-40s, and it's going to be, I don't know what we're going to have tomorrow. But
It's going to be crummy, like Barches.
And that is the best weather we can here in the Kenosha State Weather Deck, and the most up-to-date and the most complete weather report on the planet. And, you know, I recall this had to be, I just started in this television thing. It was 96, I started 98. And
You're coming up on an anniversary, aren't you?
yeah, April 6th. But they asked me to broadcast, and I think I did it with Pat Hagwald, the ice arena where they had the rock jocks that John Perry was playing on. You know, they were playing against the guys from the Milwaukee team. They were the Wolves, I think, or the Admirals, one of the two. So Vince Candela, remember Channel 6, the weather guy, little short guy? He was a heck of a hockey player in college. So he's on this hockey thing. He's playing with these guys. So I'm interviewing him, thinking, well, I'm going to make the big time. So I said, my smart-ass question, I said, so Vince, what's it like to have a...
So he's related to somebody in Kenosha, you know, because I met him.
Yeah,
I met him in a local watering hole one time. He was dining with his relatives.
Nice guy, but he's since retired. So at the time, he's got this gorgeous-looking wife with this gorgeous-looking fur, and she's standing off the side of the camera. I said, so Vince, what's it like to have this great job and you're only right 50% of the time? And she chirps in, well, we laugh all the way to the bank. I said, get out of my life. So, I didn't even laugh all the way to the bank. So if you're worried about us providing information.
Up to date what?
Up to date when
it's the only job besides ours where you can be wrong all the time and still get paid. That's good.
That's us. We get wrong all the time. All right, we're going to continue our discussion here on all these different facets of this virus deal.
Cornholio virus.
Anyway.
It's a creation of Mike Judge, you know. You got to give him credit. So.
Everybody's going to be expecting your stimulus checks. And once they figure out, you know, there were some still issues that I heard this morning, whether you're going to get, how much you're going to get. Usually it's going to be around $1,200. But if you made more, if you're single, made more than $75,000, you're going to get one. If you, between you and your wife, made more than $150,000.
Well, if you replace the light fixtures at the Lincoln Center, then you're in good shape.
Yeah,
so
that's all part of this bill,
that's
right?
Yeah.
We talked about that yesterday. You got all of this $2 trillion that's, I don't know, they're going to print new money. But there's a lot of things in this bill that have nothing to do with the stimulus thing.
Not at all.
But
the Democrats just loaded it up with all the stuff they've had sitting on their plate for at least the last 20 years.
This is the way to get it through, right?
Right.
Because who's going to vote against it? The Republicans. No, we got to get this, and I don't care what you put in there. But is that it poses another.
It just shows how despicable the politicians in the United States
That's
actually
right.
are. So,
When they say our country is broken, this virus ain't
it's not because of us, it's because of them.
Those people there can't agree on what side they can't find their ass in a hole in the ground. But this really showcases how dysfunctional our government is, not only there in Washington, but at the state level. And I mean, whether you like Evers or not, he's there, and he's got. Did he actually beat Walker? Did Walker?
Yeah, because they stacked the vote with the legalized pot question, and brought out all the hippies that never voted before in their lives to go out and vote, and they did. And it was a very close election, actually. So,
but he's there, and of course he can't do anything because he's got Republican controlled.
Well, given that you have an executive that has no executive experience whatsoever in his life, he couldn't run a 2-car funeral procession.
What was his job
That's
before
all right.
he got to be?
Oh no, he's head of the Department of Education.
Oh.
Superintendent of Education. So he's a bureaucrat. That's all he is, and he has no leadership skills whatsoever. And it's very obvious right now as to what's happening here.
He also apparently should order a new personality from FEMA. I mean, that guy is and as long as we're picking him
Weekend
up,
at Tony's, I told you.
Weekend at
That's
Tony,
it.
prop him up like a Weekend at Bernie's, and it's well, you're either gonna make it or break it. He's got how many more years? 2, 3. He just got elected, didn't he? A couple
He
years
has
ago? 2 more, I think.
2.5. He's got 2 coming in, January 1st or January 7th or something like that.
There's cases like this
It'll be 2 years for him.
that people, the politicians, are either going to make it or not going to make it. And I've always said my view was that people didn't win elections; the other person loses them. And whether you like it or not, I admit it. I voted for Trump. I maybe not like some of the things he's done with the Twitter and all that. But here's my choices at the time. I had Trump or Hillary Clinton. Well, whether I liked his personality, I thought he was going to do some good things. He's still going to be all right.
Scott, I think the big thing right now is the Supreme Court race, which we need to retain Justice Kelly. I've met what's her name? I can't. The lady.
Union Park.
No, yeah. She was at Union Park. I met her, and so I can't even think of what her name is. But starts with her last name starts with a K. That's it. But she gave this whole spiel, and it was actually totally contrary to what her rulings have actually been. You know, say one thing, and it's not what you say; it's what you do. So I pay attention to what she did and what. Yeah, she said, "Oh, I'm going to follow the Constitution." No, she's come out and said, "No, I'm not going to. I'm going to." Screw the Constitution and anything like that. I'm going to go the way my political views go. Well, that's not what we need in a Supreme Court justice.
You follow that? Let's go back to, as long as you're talking about Supreme Court, who's the guy that just got nominated? The Trump nominated, and they had the big hearings, and they caused him.
Well, there was Gorsuch and
the other guy. I forget his name, but you know what? Trump appoints him, so you'd think that he's going to. Follow the views of the guy that appoints you, right?
He didn't.
I know.
He's a strict constitutionalist. Nobody
Right.
says, nope,
Well,
that's it. So, okay.
But in the hearings for his confirmation hearings, they just blasted that guy and brought his family and his wife into there. I mean, I didn't think that was necessary, but these guys in Washington, if I use the term, now there are some good ones that say, okay, I'm going to do what's best for the country, but it's all along party lines, wouldn't you think, generally? Except for this issue.
No, there are some people, like me, that don't care about parties.
Well, I think more people are getting. Yeah, there's that. Do you hear the meter going off? They don't care about parties? Political parties. I'm talking about parties.
Well, that's a whole other issue, but no. I'm a pragmatist, and that's all. Whatever works, do it.
Right.
Liberty and prosperity, that's all I care about.
I don't think we'll ever get to the... All right, let me ask you this question. Do you think we'd be better without the two-party system? And
it'll never come to that.
It's in the Constitution, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I thought it was.
No, you can have as many parties as you want. But if you want any power, it's going to drill down to that much. So,
one of the things that's hurting is when the governor closed all the bars and restaurants, is especially the places like Union Park Tavern that would have music on Wednesday and open mics and things on music on the weekends.
Yep.
And Cy Costabile coming in and tickling up things.
There's no place for the musicians
right,
to play.
And all of those people that generally would get paid cash, they ain't getting nothing, and they can't file for unemployment.
Nope.
So they are really hurting, and
They can't even go play in the park.
that's right. I just don't understand it. So now even in today's Kenosha News, they even had to point out that they didn't have their get out section or go section. And
There's nowhere to go.
there's nowhere to go. So, that saved the Kenosha News probably 12 pages. And I hope that nobody's listening because they probably won't print our press release. Kiss that goodbye. But we're again, our plan is to be here at 2 p.m. We don't have to go for a full hour. We'll probably cut this off a little bit. And we will be here Saturday at 10 and do some of our same things. But we still have our phone lines.
Yeah, no one's calling in here. So
Well, you know what?
that's all right.
You know what they'll do? How come nobody's answering your phone? I'll get this at 8 o'clock tonight. How come nobody's answering your phone? Oh, well. It just took a few minutes.
It's up there.
Oh, Spider just sent me this. Closed. All City of Kenosha playgrounds are closed effective immediately until further notice due to the state safer at home order.
Mm-hmm.
So for all you wonderful snot-nosed little kids and we're looking for a place
Yeah,
to play,
yeah.
come on over here to Barter Manor. And if once you get through the alligator boat and regards
Sitting on a park bench,
yeah,
eyeing little girls with penitent. Okay, there. Okay, Aqualung.
and I'll take the
Snot is running down his nose.
okay. At any rate, I feel bad for the musicians because but even
It's very
though,
sad being one myself. And
here's one that some of them are doing. They're taking to live streaming. And some of the
That's
professional musicians are doing stuff from their home. Why don't you explain the difference between a live stream, which people generally don't
live stream
and a
is all-
podcast?
Well, live stream is what you're doing now. Podcast is recorded, and then
Okay.
you get the whole thing, and you get to edit it, so you can take out stuff like me being offensive and things like that, and then actually, make it somewhat suitable for the public, which we do not claim to be here.
No.
But
That's
so
too much
you can edit it down, and it's like a recorded TV show as versus a live TV show. Same thing.
Now, if you want to give us $117,300 or $717,000.
What was that?
$67.38. Send it on in.
I can build a real nice video server for that, and and we can host everything out of there rather than having to rely on YouTube. So,
But this is working fine, and we picked this type of the part of the day because nobody's going anywhere, and maybe it what are you gonna do? Sit around and some of the suggestions. I read a book, make a puzzle. How much garbage can you watch?
it runs out of interest in a very short amount of time. So.
Or now I don't do this myself, but there's some people who could probably turn on a porn movie. I don't know that myself.
What's that?
I've heard about that. Yeah, listen to him. Anyway, we'll get back to that at a different time.
I don't need movies.
Well, you got a smoking 37-year-old girlfriend. Yeah, why would you need a movie? I guess we're kind of diverse from the seriousness of this virus and everything. But at any rate, if anybody think that this social distancing is actually working? I mean, I see the politicians, the school board, and you're 6 feet apart, and maybe it's working for you. And if it is, God love you. And if it's not, then I had people say, "Oh, I went out and took a walk." And of course,
I saw people walking all over the place.
and I saw people. I was coming. This lady is. She says, "Well, I'm walking down the sidewalk, and I saw somebody. I went over to the other side." I said, "Come on.
Well,
If you want it, go ahead. That's free country. I don't care." But
just your chances of running into anybody that's actually even infected with this thing are like 1 in 100,000 right now. So
well,
if you run into 100,000 people in a day, maybe you'll catch it from one of them. That's it. So.
According to this article, the Kenosha Police Department, they're urging residents to follow order, and the same thing with the police department up in Racine. They're not going around looking for people to give them tickets. It's an $85 state ticket. A $580. No, that's deaths. All right, what is the ticket? See, they don't even know what the ticket is. But and now, if you see 50 cars parked together, they're going to probably, "Hey, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do this." But they're not actively looking for you. Except for, here's a couple crazy stories. There's this twisted prank. A woman purposely coughed on $35,000 worth of supermarket food. and then they had to take it all, and the guy doesn't know, the owner, this was in Hanover, Pennsylvania, purposely coughed. What an idiot. $35,000 food, and of course the police already admitted that she's a chronic problem in the community anyway, so, geez, put the cuffs on her, and we don't need morons like that. She ought to be put to sleep.
You know, Uncle Scotty, there is good news in the very near future.
What's that?
Alternate side parking is going to end next week.
You know, that's true. It's supposed to on March 31st.
That's it, April 1st.
And I thought I heard that they were going to eliminate parking, just like it was a snow emergency. But that was a rumor that I heard. But that's supposed to be eliminated. Come up next Wednesday or whenever.
Well, not eliminated. It's just it goes off schedule for regular parking. Right.
You know, the owner of the Hobby Lobby, you know, that's normally closed on Sundays anyway. But the owner of the Hobby Lobby sent a memo out to all his employees that because of a federal mandate, employees will first time be required to use all available paid time off for benefits, and for emergency pay that is only 75% of their regular pay. You know, why don't you just lay the people off and at least they can file for unemployment and get something? Isn't that supposed to be in the bill when a little bit more than you normally would get for unemployment? I think unemployment would be 60%. It's supposed to bring you up to a better level.
No, unemployment is about half of what you would normally make. Okay,
so now in this bill, they're supposed to increase the
We'll
length.
see what really happens.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll see how much cash they actually get. All this is going to wash off, and there's a whole bunch of people in the middle that are going to fill their pockets with this money, and the people that actually need the money ain't going to get it. I would. That's a good bet in Vegas, but you can't make a bet in Vegas because they're shut down. Okay.
Now here's one of the crisis things in New York City. They've ordered 85 refrigerated trucks, and I saw the thing. I didn't know what that was for because they've got reported 33,000 cases, 325 dead at this point, and they're backing these refrigeration trucks up to the hospitals, and that's a morgue because the morgues can only hold
That's right.
a maximum.
Where they were in Spain, they commandeered a hockey rink because it was cold, and they're stacking the bodies in hockey rinks over there.
Wasn't it Walt Disney that had his face underneath on a hockey rink? I thought it was Walt Disney.
No, they froze his head along with Ted Williams until that guy stuck the tuna can to the side of his head and tried to get it off with a sledgehammer.
So here, we have it bad in America, but China, I guess, apparently created this. So when China's factories reopened not too long ago, all the workers that were laid off go back only to get fired because in China, all
the kung flu,
all the canceled orders, the delayed shipments, and they had no orders to do it. So when
one good thing, you got to look at the long-term view. What's going to happen? All these people that were shipping all their, using all the manufacturing in China because it was cheaper and stuff like that. What part of made in the USA may be a good idea here? Okay.
Last 4th of July, this is a true story. I got these flags from Amazon. They had a sale on them, and I think we bought a couple hundred because we gave them away to little kids. And whatever was on that's not on this one. Made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
American flag made in, and that's why we can't produce our own flag.
Well, it is the capitalist model. You go to wherever you can get it cheaper.
Well,
but
that's true.
Now we're disrupting the supply chain. Well, if the supply chain was maybe still here in America, it wouldn't be disrupted. You ever think about that, you money-grubbing pig? All right. Okay.
You were talking about... It was better than I thought it was going to end up. The haircut deal yesterday where the cops was it Waterford or Watertown?
Watertown.
The guy was halfway through his haircut, and the cops came in and made him get out, and he got a ticket. And
no, he didn't. He finished the haircut. That's why he got the ticket. So,
but here in Australia, they reversed their thing and give you a 30 minutes hair appointment rule. I mean, and so you got to use common sense if you're into that kind of a business. I need my teeth cleaned, and I don't think there's a dentist in this community.
Nope, you can't. I got a memo from my dentist, and I don't have an appointment until May, but they said until further notice, all regular appointments are canceled. If you have a dental emergency, they will open up the place for you. So, and I live next door to it. So
one other item, then we get to this final item here. The golf courses are closed.
I think that's the most ridiculous thing. Who are you near? Talk about social distancing. God, when you're you're trying to hit a 3-iron out of the woods. You're not coming close to anybody. What the heck is the problem
What
here?
we're worried
Okay.
about apparently is the into the clubhouse. Well, don't do that. Just
Don't go in the clubhouse.
Don't
Okay.
go in the clubhouse. Get your permit and
Hey,
let one in
have
at
a
time.
drive-up window? Like what thing?
God, I thought. And now apparently there's a state golf, and they're protesting this to the governor, saying you got to open up the golf courses at least, when the weather gets warm.
You know what the dumbest thing I heard is there's one golf course and you have a plastic thing inside the cup, right? Well, they're raising it up so it's an inch above there, and if you hit your ball and dink it off the side of the plastic cup that's counted as going in the hole, to make it so people don't have to reach down and pick up somebody else's golf ball in the hole.
Well, y'all got
How
golf gloves on.
stupid is that?
That's better than what I thought it was going to end up too. All right, one more. This has nothing to do with the virus or anything. You're a computer guy, and apparently the old iPhone is going to be replaced with something that's apparently 40 times better. This is by Apple. And what I found interesting is there's a tiny component inside Apple's new phone here. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Apple doesn't have the technology to make it. So there's only one place that has a patent on this thing, and these people are going to make a ton of money, just a little company. So I guess my point is maybe we should come up with something that we should have copyrighted other than...
Well, I'm going to come up with a new device. It's called the A-phone, and you know where you can put that.
Well, look at the clock, Elmo. It's like we got out of here before we did any more damage. We've had some discussions, and this is what
We're here to stimulate the brain. That's our job here. So, okay.
Forget the stimulant money. We don't have money, unless you want to give us $113,300.
I thought it was 117.
117,000.
Whatever.
What's another 100,000 comes friends? The government's talking about $2 trillion.
Then we need to upgrade the electrical service here at Barter Manor too to run this thing, but it's all right. Okay.
We'll keep 100,000 just to pay for the other stuff, and 17,000 will go. For
right.
But anyway, we should come up.
We're also taking donations for my daughter's wedding, so
Sure.
please send your checks to Barter Manor here. Okay.
And we'll be back tomorrow at 2. And let me just check this one more time. It's all the parks are closed. Elmo, not Elmo, but Spider just told me that. It's 43 degrees here in the Kenosha Today Nation. And that is going to wrap it up for us until tomorrow. We'll be back here at 2 p.m. We want to thank all.
Please call in. We just used all this time on here, and no one called us.
But you know what I'm going to get? I swear as I sit here now, I'm going to get, I called your number at 8 o'clock tonight. How come nobody's answering? That's about...
We have it right here on the monitor, and nothing is happening. So, okay.
We want to thank our sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services, the Park Tavern, Kenosha's for Open Honest Government, Charlie B's Kids for Cancer Treatment Foundation, and we have been streaming to you live and local this afternoon from Barter Manor Studio, located on the corner of Happy and What Went Wrong. And so for Elmo and myself, until we tee it up tomorrow at 2 p.m., we thank you for the privilege of your time. I'm Scottie Barter, and have a very safe and pleasant afternoon.